All right, welcome back to the Better Roadways Podcast, where we deliver straight up, boots on the ground, value to the public works, engineering, and pavement management community. I'm James Golden, CEO of Pavement Management Group, and your host. And today we're talking about a word that matters to every decision maker within the infrastructure industry, right? And that word is ROI, return on investment. Because when it comes to pavement, not every dollar performs the same. And some of the strategies out there, you're just throwing money down, say, the black hole. So we're going to start off part one here about what is pavement ROI, a little bit of a definition for that. We talk about ROI in a wide variety of sectors such as finance, business, even education. But pavement's got an ROI too, right? Every treatment choice, every project, the timing, every budget allocation, you're doing one of two things, right? You're either extending the life of your roadways or you're accelerating its failure and future costs. So pavement ROI is all about maximizing the useful life per dollar spent. So that's part one. Part two, why timing is everything. You've got to have time in the market for ROI, right? So here's the deal. A dollar spent on preservation while a road is in good condition can probably save $5 to $10 in future reconstruction costs. But if you wait too long, if you start waiting until you see those load-associated cracks forming, such as alligator cracking, some rutting, your base failures, suddenly you're staring at full-depth reclamation territory, and that's expensive. Preservation strategies like rejuvenation, crack sealing, surface treatments, think of your cape seals, microsurfaces, slurry seals, chip seals in a rural environment, those types of things, and even thin overlays. These things are low cost and create a high impact, but the key here is if it's done at the right time. Right pavement, right treatment, right time. We say that in pavement management all the time. But those same strategies are useless if you're trying to perform those things on failed roads. So there's no silver bullet out there. Part three, the life cycle cost curve. All of you right now can probably picture a typical asphalt deterioration curve. You start off the top, age 0. The condition tends to stay a little bit flat over the first, 3 to 5 years, and it starts to drop. And it can drop fast. And near the end of a pavement's life, it can seem like this vertical cliff, that steep drop. And unfortunately, that's when most cities are reacting, and it's too late. Your ROI shrinks, the costs start to balloon, and you're playing catch up instead of getting ahead. So there is a secret. And that secret, ding, 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 it's intervening at the flat part. When the roads are still good, that's where your dollars stretch. Think of maintenance, okay? Part four, real world example. I call this the tale of two cities. So let's talk about a real scenario. You got two cities, same conditions, same budget, same size, same weather, same asphalt composition, same traffic. Let's say town A is actually going to do a rejuvenation in year 1, follow back with a crack seal program year 4 and 7, whereas city B, they do nothing. They do nothing for that full 7 years. By year 10, City A roadway is hanging in there nice and strong in a good condition, while City B, by year 10, you're staring at that reconstruction. The other part of that is the cost. City A, maybe $50,000, $60,000 to keep those roads good, staring at this reconstruction effort. Now you're staring at, say, $190,000, $200,000 for, your mill and overlays and reconstructs. So let's talk about how to make your dollars count. Very important here. Start with condition data. Know what roads qualify for preservation. That's very important. Take a look at decision trees. How do your pavements deteriorate over time based on your current efforts and past efforts? Now you can start to prioritize the high ROI segments, low cost, high traffic, good condition roadways. That's going to be your best bang for your buck. And commit to a multi-year plan. Preservation is a long-term plan. This is not something you're going to do one time and then forget about it, right? And you can sell this ROI strategy to your stakeholders and the public. Think about things about how you're going to optimize the network conditions. If you're currently at a 60 PCI and you're spending $3 million a year and you feel like you're losing ground each and every year, this is the ticket, your golden ticket to extending the life of these roadways, optimizing your roadway conditions, and really providing a nice, sustainable, quality ride for the residents. So it's not about spending less, it's about spending smart. At PMG, for example, we build these ROI strategies into every pavement management project that we've got. But you can start today, no matter what your budget size is. I get this kind of a remark often when I'm out there in the market talking about this stuff. And it's like, James, this stuff sounds great, pavement preservation, but I don't have enough money. I don't have the budget to be able to do these types of things. And I like to challenge back and say, well, look, you've already got a defined budget this year. You've already got a defined budget. All of you have a defined budget, most of you. Just take that budget and say apply 30% of the budget towards these preservation and maintenance initiatives and watch what happens. You'll start to see the ROI, which is very important. So you can start tomorrow, this year, next project year, whatever the case be, but just get started. So the next time you're reviewing your roadway list, you're getting the inputs back from your council and your residents, and you start beginning your budgeting process and planning, you need to ask yourself this question, what's the return on this investment? If I'm going to be providing this type of a treatment, what is my expected return on the investment? If the answer is not much, it's time to start rethinking your strategy. Think about some of the things that I've mentioned today and how you can put those into good action. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Better Roadways Podcast. Again, I'm James Golden. Remember, pavement doesn't fail overnight, but your funding might if you don't plan smart. Please share this with a colleague, with your network, and let's keep you making better decisions for better roadways. Until the next one.